Well, welcome to the Beyond Cinema Studio presented by CELEBS.com up here at TIFF with Brian De Palma. Congratulations on Passion.
Thank you.
How did it feel like, obviously you were in Italy last week, in North America this week. Are you always curious to see if it plays differently to different parts of the globe?
Well, Toronto has the best audiences in the world. The Italian audience was very focused, very much caught up with the film, but I think they were a little tense, so they didn't sort of laugh with it, because it's a lot of fun, the movie. There's really outrageous behavior by the girls, and the Toronto audience got it, and there are many very funny lines in it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it feels, it's like you're exploring in almost a satirical sense some stuff that's happened before, and a style choice that's happened before as well. Do you enjoy the debates that arise from viewers and journalists trying to kind of, classify your filmmaking or anticipating what kind of film you're going to make at any given time?
Well, debates, I don't know if there's much of a debate. They sort of fall on either side of feeling that they reject the whole concept, basically, and then there are people that sort of watch the film and see the kind of visual things I'm doing that get entranced by it. So it's always been a divide. There was an article in the New York Times, I think, of my last film. You mentioned the De Palma film, and then the fights begin.
But do you think that's also characteristic of the fact that you've chosen not to define yourself in any specific genre? Between Redacted and Black Dahlia and this, it's like you're continuing to explore film generally, and other people kind of want to know exactly what they're getting into.
Well, that's always a problem when you're experimenting with new forms. The first reaction is, what is this? He makes these kind of films. I don't understand this at all. And there's so many catchphrases in relationship to the way I'm defined. Hitchcockian, magpie, a series of violence, misogynist. They've been quoted at me for decades, and like they never really look at the movie anymore. They sort of quote what's in the press booklet.
Are there any of those? Are there any attributes that have been thrown at you that you like, that you embrace?
Well, I do have my supporters, and they do see the way that I visually explore the subjects. They see the beauty and the poetry in my movies, and they are taken up by the emotion and the kind of operatic feel to many of the sequences.
Yeah, absolutely, especially the split screens and things like that in this film. It's classified an erotic thriller, but it's certainly not explicit sexually. Is that something that was your intent, or something that you discussed with the actors?
No, because I think this is a movie with women, by women, for women. And over the years, having made many thrillers and other types of gangster movies, women don't like explicit sex scenes or explicit violence scenes. They get turned off, they look away from the screen. And this is really not necessary. Needless to say, we had the footage. The girls were not afraid to do anything with each other. But I felt that it wasn't really necessary.
Well, certainly for Noomi Rapace, we've seen her go to those extremes with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, in which she was so amazing. Rachel McAdams is sort of different for her to be in this kind of position of power within a film. Was that something that that you discussed with her, that she's really seemed to relish?
Well, it's always fun to play the bad girl, and Rachel really had a great time, and I laugh with her all the time, with some of her lines that she says that are so outrageous, as she's manipulating Nomi in this power play. It's just amazing to watch her.
What was it that you saw her in that made you think she was right for this?
Mean Girls.
Going back a while. Did you see it at the time and hold on to that?
Well, I remembered it. Mean Girls sort of tells you what kind of movie you're going to see. And then when I saw her as leader of the pack, I said, she knows how to do this.
You know, it's a co-production between France and Germany. Was that a coincidence? Like, are these people that you wanted to work with, that you wanted to embrace in the story, or is this just a matter of getting films made these days?
Well, each film is financed differently, whether it's a studio or some kind of European co-financing. The studios are financed by European entities. So this film, because a lot of the financing came out of Germany, we would have to shoot the interiors in Germany. But when I discovered Berlin, I sort of said to myself, and the movie was originally set in London, I said, why don't we shoot this in Berlin? This is an international corporation. It can be in any kind of big European city, and Berlin is fascinating. It's got these great locations. Let's do the whole movie there.
So does that affect the story, or do you just kind of...
Not really.
Yeah.
It's rather secondhand for me. I'm an American director living in Paris, making a film in Germany, and everybody's speaking a different language. When we want to talk together, we all speak English. I kind of like it because I get distracted by conversations that I can hear off camera. So when I'm on a set and they're speaking Spanish or German or French, I don't understand what they're saying, and it's fine for me because I can concentrate on what I'm doing.
What struck you about Hélène Corneau's film that made you want to devote your time to making this?
Well, I think it's a great setup. I think the two characters, the two women characters fighting for power, the whole use. Well, I really introduced the telephone commercial that you don't really see the product that they're vying for authorship of. So I introduced the whole phone thing. But I like the corporate structure. I like the way the women kind of, manipulated each other. And the whole idea, Corneau's idea is that the worst thing a woman can do to another woman is humiliate her publicly. And, when Isabel does that meltdown in the garage and that she's photographed by the surveillance camera and then it's shown to all her colleagues, that's just like the end.
Yeah, I felt sorry for the new Peugeot as well. So, if obviously they're remaking Carrie right now. You remade Hélène's film. Is there a film of your own that you would ever attempt to remake?
Well, I'm 72. I don't know how many films left I have. I don't think a remake of one of my own films is in the future.
Fair enough. How was it having this film, come out on your birthday? It was your birthday, yes. Play here on your birthday. Is that a good present?
Well, I'm always here on my birthday. I come to this festival every year. I come to see movies. I have many friends in Toronto. I've lived here. I've worked here, so I'm very familiar with Toronto. And every birthday I'm here, and my friends take me out to dinner. But this was kind of special because the audience sung happy birthday to me.
And you also had, some of your stars in attendance as well, so it must be nice to kind of have that sort of reunion family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we certainly appreciate you stopping by. It's been a pleasure to chat with you.
It's nice to be here.
Thanks, Brian.